What do Iron Man's final words, Thor's funniest line, and Peter Quill line all have in common? None of them were in the script. These raw, unscripted moments weren't planned. They were pure improvisation from Marvel's greatest actors. Let's dive into the best of them. Let's start with the moment that launched the entire MCU. At the end of Iron Man, Tony Stark was supposed to deflect, to hide his identity. But Robert Downey Jr. didn't follow the script. Instead, he looked into the cameras and said,
"I am Iron Man."
That unscripted line was so iconic, it became the backbone of the MCU, and later, the final words of Tony Stark in Endgame. Remember that hilarious post-credits scene in the Avengers where the team is silently eating shawarma? That all came from an offhand joke. After falling back to Earth, Tony Stark mutters,
"You ever tried shawarma? There's a shawarma joint about 2 blocks from here. I don't know what it is, but I want to try it."
It wasn't in the script. But Joss Whedon loved it so much, he added a last-minute shoot after the movie premiered internationally. One of the funniest lines in Infinity War came straight from Dave Bautista's brain. When Star-Lord shouts, "Where is Gamora?" and Tony follows with, "Who is Gamora?" Drax cuts in with, "Why is Gamora?" Totally improvised. It wasn't in the script, but it stayed because everyone broke into laughter.
I'm gonna ask you this one time. Where is Gamora?
Yeah, I'll do you one better. Who's Gamora?
I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
Tell me where the girl.
During stunt rehearsals for Black Widow, Florence was shocked to learn that none of the superheroes' iconic landing poses, including Natasha Romanoff's, are actually safe for landing. When writer Eric Pearson overheard her telling Scarlett Johansson about it, he wanted to put it in the script.
Why do you always do that thing?
Do what?
The thing you do when you're fighting.
This thing that you do when you whip your hair when you're fighting with the arm and the hair.
It's a fighting pose. You're a total poser.
I'm not a poser.
In the first Thor, Chris Hemsworth slams his coffee mug and shouts,
This drink, I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another!
it wasn't in the script. Hemsworth later explained he wanted to show Thor's otherworldly manners, and director Kenneth Branagh loved it. The scene stayed and became a meme. And during Loki's drinking scene on the train, Tom Hiddleston ad-libbed the reference to Thor. In the Avengers, while Bruce, Tony, and Steve are talking science, Tony randomly starts eating blueberries and offering them to the others. That wasn't in the script. Downey had hidden snacks on set and just kept going. Chris Evans and Mark Ruffalo played along.
Every dirty secret SHIELD has ever tried to hide blueberry. Yet you're confused about why.
Taika Waititi gave actors room to experiment. He even said 80% of Thor. Ragnarok was improvised. In one scene, Thor throws Loki at guards like a bowling ball. It was improvised on set, and it completely captured their chaotic sibling energy.
We are not doing Get Help.
Get help! Please! My brother's dying! Get help! Help him! Oh, classic.
Still hate it? It's humiliating.
No, not for me, it's not.
Chris Pratt added his own flair to Guardians of the Galaxy by suggesting a moment where his Star-Lord name gets no reaction. He improvised the awkward pause, and it turned into one of the film's funniest scenes.
Hey, you know what? There's another name you might know me by. Star-Lord.
Who?
Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw.
In Doctor Strange, when Wong says he only goes by one name, Strange replies with,
I'm not ready for that. Try me, Beyonce.
that was Cumberbatch going off script. Later in the film, Wong is listening to Beyonce. Perfect continuity created by improv. That heart-melting line from Endgame? You guessed it. Downey improvised it, drawing from something his own kids say to him. It became a viral cultural moment, appearing on merch, tributes, and fan tattoos.
It's supposed to. I love you 3,000.
In Captain America, the first Avenger, after Steve Rogers emerges post-serum looking like a super soldier, Peggy Carter reaches out and touches his chest. That moment wasn't planned. Haley Atwell admitted in interviews that it was her real reaction to seeing Chris Evans shirtless for the first time on set. The crew loved it so much, they kept it in.
I couldn't quite help myself during the scene. It was the first time I saw him, and it was the first time I was that close, so I just kind of touched them gently.
In the final battle of Infinity War, Thor and Steve Rogers trade unscripted quips about their looks. This improv moment was so fun and well received, the Russo brothers kept it in the final film.
Your haircut? Notice you've copied my beard.
Remember when Peter Parker hugs Tony Stark in Spider-Man Homecoming? That awkward, "that's not a hug, I'm just opening the door" moment wasn't in the script. Tom Holland went for the hug as a joke. Downey Jr. stayed in character and delivered the perfect dad-level cringe.
From your team.
That's not a hug. I'm just grabbing the door for you. We're not there yet.
In Age of Ultron, Quicksilver zooms off with Scarlet Witch, teasing Hawkeye with
Keep up, old man.
Jeremy Renner improvised Hawkeye's comeback.
Nobody would know. Nobody. The last I saw him, an Ultron was sitting on him.
It gave the intense film a much-needed beat of humor. In X-Men First Class, when Xavier and Magneto try to recruit Wolverine, Hugh Jackman tells them to go themselves. That line wasn't in the script. Jackman came up with it on the spot, and the PG-13 F-bomb was the only one allowed in the film, making it all the more effective.
Excuse me, I'm Eric Lensher.
Tell Xavier.
Go yourself.
In Venom, Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock jumps into a lobster tank in the middle of a restaurant. That wasn't planned. Hardy spotted the tank on set and asked if he could jump in. The crew thought he was joking until he did it. In Thor, Odin strips Thor of his powers in a thunderous speech. The moment is intense and totally unscripted. Kenneth Branagh gave Anthony Hopkins freedom to improvise the whole speech, including the final growl at Loki. It's a masterclass in raw emotion.
To think you were ready.
Father.
In Thor Ragnarok, when Thor sees Hulk in the arena and shouts,
Hey! Hey! We know each other. He's a friend from work.
it wasn't the writers or actors who came up with that iconic line. It was suggested by a young Make-A-Wish visitor on set. The team loved it, Hemsworth used it, and it became one of the most beloved lines in the MCU.
Why don't you say, when you look up at Loki in the crowd, say, he's a friend from work. And then so that line... A kid gave you that line? Kid gave us that line, yeah.
In Deadpool, when Weasel, played by T.J. Miller, reacts to Deadpool's disfigured face, none of those roasts were scripted. Lines like,
"You look like an avocado. Had sex with an older, more disgusting avocado." Yeah. Not gently, like it was hate fucking.
were all improv. The crew just let the camera roll while Miller and Reynolds tried to make each other laugh. Florence Pugh and Haley Steinfeld improvised much of their witty apartment scene in Hawkeye, including the hot sauce moment, showcasing their natural chemistry.
I don't have any weapons on me. Okay, I take that back. I don't have any weapons currently in my hands. Oh, I love hot sauce. Yes.
In Avengers Endgame, Benedict Cumberbatch improvised the small but impactful moment when Doctor Strange lifts his finger to indicate to Tony Stark that he's the only one who can reverse the snap. One of the funniest unscripted moments in the Avengers came from none other than Tony Stark. While walking through the helicarrier, Stark casually calls out a SHIELD technician with the line,
"That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did."
Turns out that witty jab wasn't in the script at all. According to director Joss Whedon in the DVD commentary, Robert Downey Jr. improvised the line on the spot, and the crew found it so hilarious they actually added a Galaga game screen to the agent's computer in post-production to make the joke real. In Doctor Strange, Rachel McAdams' startled reaction in the broom closet was completely genuine. A mop handle accidentally fell and scared her for real. Since she stayed perfectly in character, director Scott Derrickson decided to keep the take in the final film. In Captain America: Civil War, the scene where Tony Stark tells Peter Parker to move his leg wasn't in the script. Tom Holland had forgotten his blocking and left his leg in the way of the seat. Instead of stopping the scene, Robert Downey Jr. improvised the line, and Holland stayed in character. The interaction felt so natural and funny that the directors decided to leave it in the final cut.
I'm gonna sit here so you move the leg.
In Avengers: Age of Ultron, there's a scene where Tony Stark searches an old structure and finds a hidden door. Originally, he wasn't supposed to say anything. The scene was written as silent, but Robert Downey Jr. couldn't help himself and improvised the lines, including the now iconic sarcastic.
Please be a secret door. Please be a secret door. Please be a secret door.